All right, we have minute 3 for day 3. If you ever get stuck on any of this when we get to Zoom session, or if you're like, I'm not quite sure about that, you can put a question mark and save that problem for Zoom. So I also might show on here that we are going to cover some of this in Zoom just to talk about major concepts that you might not have had in the past, or to help work on building vocabulary. Number 1, if it's 5:32 now, what time will it be in 24 minutes? What time will it be 24 minutes from now? So because we're not adding hours, you just can't go over 60, and anything over 60 moves to another hour. So I'm actually just going to put 24 down below this and add these together, just the minute part. And that'll show you it would be 5:56. So, number 2. How many cubes are in this shape? So they're just wanting to know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They ask another question later and they talk about faces, which is each side. So make sure you pay attention to the question and ask good questions about vocabulary as well. Number 3, write 2 fractions that represent the shaded box. So we need to find 2 ways to show this. We can look at it as a whole, which there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 total pieces. So I'm going to ignore this line. So we have 8 pieces all together, and out of those 8, 2 are shaded. Another way to see this is we have 2 pieces. So, or sorry, not 2, because that would mean there's a shaded piece in each one of those. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 shaded pieces, or 4 pieces, and out of those 4 pieces, 2 are shaded. So, or 1 is shaded, sorry. 1 is the same as 1/4. So just in case you wanted to think of it as another way, this would be the 2 fractions. 2/8 is equal to, or the same as, 1/4. Another way to do that is if you just did the 2/8 and you counted everything, and then you said, can 2 go into 8? And 2 can go into 8, so you could divide it, the top and the bottom. Whatever you do to the top when you're doing fractions, you also do to the bottom. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 8 divided by 2 is 4. So I would have the same answers. So I'm going to circle my answers, 1/4 and 2/8. Write greater than or less than in the circle to compare the fractions. There's also the equals to, but I'm assuming they figured that this wasn't going to be the same. Which one is greater? 8 of 9 pieces or 7 of 9 pieces? Well, remember, in fraction world, when you see the denominators the same, you're assuming it's the same part, not 9 pieces of a brownie and 9 pieces of a whole cake. This represents the exact same amount, so 9 when they're showing this fraction. So right here, if I had 7 of 9 pieces, that would be less than 8 of the 9 pieces. So 7/9 is less than 8/9. Mel makes arm bracelets. She is making, sorry, this is number 5. She is making one for each arm of her 6 friends. 12. How many should she make? Okay, so if she has 6 friends times 2 bracelets equals 12 bracelets for her friends. So she would need to make 12 bracelets. Complete the pattern. 2, 4, 8. So here we times by 2, here we times by 2, and here we times by 2. Does it just grow by 2? So we add 2, 2 plus 2 is 4, 4 plus 2 is not 8. So we would actually need to multiply by 2, and 8 times 2 is 16. Doubling the number prior to that. All right, next. Joe wants to build fins for his dog Charlie. What a nice guy. He plans to surround the rectangle to the right with fence. How many feet does he need? So if he needs 10 feet on this side, and that's the perimeters on the outside, and 15 on this side, and then he'd need another 10 and another 15. If that's where he's going, I'm just going to put those numbers on that side. 10 and 10 is 20. And 15 plus 15, well, I know 10 and 10 is 20, we just did that. Plus 5 is 10 more, so 30. So how many feet will he need? He will need 20 plus 30 equals 50. He'll need 50 feet. A fence. Hopefully he has a good job. It's not cheap at all to build fence. How many people took part in this survey? So they were talking about cereal brands. They put down 3 different brands. They didn't tell us because I'm assuming that's not important. And then this is how many people liked them. So how many people? So in this survey, this part right here, there was 1. So this is 6 and that's 8. So in between would be 7 for the middle brand. And for the top brand over here, there was 12. So if we want to know how many two altogether, we would take those numbers and add them up. 7 plus 12 is 19, and 19 plus 1 is 20. So how many people took part in the survey? 20 people. This goes back to what I was talking about before, doing some skip counting. I might not have you do it on your 5s, but I'm going to do it just to model it. I think it's great practice. This is for 12s, so 12, 24, 36. These are called multiples. Also, an answer to a multiplication problem is a product. So 36, 48, 60, 72, 84, 96, plus 12, my brain farting, plus 2 plus 10 is how I remember. Plus 2, we get to 110, plus 10. Which would be right, because we've got to 10. $144. Okay, so 12 times 3, 1, 2, 3. 36. 12 times 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 60. 12 times 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. I think I'm getting tired. Haha. Then this one, because we're doing division, a lot of kids struggle with division. I love division especially when you're doing facts, because what you can remember is that these are just the answers, which is the same up here. So now we're doing 5s, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 50, 55, 60. Again, you don't have to write all these, but I would encourage you if you have time to practice. So then I want to know, how many times does it count by 5 to get to 50? Well, I know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I also know that 10 times 5 is 50. This is one more group, so 55 divided by 5, because this is 50 divided by 5. So it would be 11. and then 45. That's one less group in this one, so 9. And if I wanted to, I could count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, we're done. Take your sheet. Make sure you enter in your math facts that I got 100% and that I got 10 out of 10 on my video for that. All right, see you for the next piece.